Hi everyone! If you don't follow any Indonesian public figures or my social media or Indonesian news in general, you might have missed what's been going on in this country for about a week. Let me just say that Indonesia is not doing well right now. It's been pretty crazy the past few days. So much so that today a lot of offices have issued a work from home mandate, including my office, which is unusual because my office doesn't have like a regular work from home schedule. Work from home has ever been enforced during a force majeure occasion, which I suppose today calls for it. I don't really want to get into like the details of the politics of it. I will link some news down below that you can read to get up to speed with the subject if you're interested. But I suppose like the people are feeling very uneasy about the whole situation, and we are feeling angry and frustrated with the government right now, is as much as I can say about it. And it kind of affects how I try to plan for what's coming. I had several plans for at least like the next week previously that is currently disrupted by what's going on. My mind and heart are not in the same place they were. I want to like shift focus to this issue right now, and that kind of changes how I plan things for the next month. And especially for like my Patreon, how am I going to do business as usual over there when the country is literally going up in flames? I'm not sure, but I thought I'd vlog it to kind of show you how this very real experience that's happening to me and to my nation is like integral in the creative process of like an artist or a creative person. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed to say that offices often still do business as usual, except perhaps for retail. A lot of shops are closing at the moment because they're located right in the heart of everything that's going on, and for the safety of their workers, they decide to close shop. Unfortunately, for offices that can just take their work remote like I'm doing right now, it hasn't been different so far. Like, we're still working towards what we're working towards, even though at the moment it feels like, why are we even doing this? This feels very inessential right now. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it fits with what's going on. But it's not in my power to stop that or put everything to a halt. What I can do, what is in my power, is everything else I do aside from that. So like my Patreon, for instance, is something that I'm trying to really look into as I observe what's going to happen in the next few weeks probably. I did create an artwork as a tribute to the people who have gone down to the streets to voice our aspirations. I created like a free wallpaper for everyone to download on my Patreon. The wallpaper looks a little like this. Well, actually, this is exactly what it looks like. And if you want this wallpaper for yourself to like show solidarity or as a tribute to the women who go down to the streets for us, I will leave the link to the wallpaper down below. Other than that, I really plan to create some more artworks to educate people and, you know, keep the fire burning within each of us. This is literally the only time in my life I feel like scrolling through my phone is a productive activity, because I got to be exposed to a lot of new information super quickly. There's always something new, some new updates going on, and I really love social media for that now. Because whatever you think of social media, it is still a tool for spreading information And especially when like the authorities have got to traditional media, social media is like a great place for information to still reach the great masses. There's nothing they can do to stop that right now, because they also need social media to communicate with us and to communicate with each other. So haha. Anyway, yeah, I feel like I'm trying to spread as much information as I can, obviously from like reputable, reliable sources. But that's where I'm at right now, and I guess we'll see what happens next. I just had like a major fight with my dad about politics. It's seriously draining me. I fucking hate that it happened, especially since we should be mad at the people in power, not each other. But there's just so much gap between us, I feel like. And I think everyone who has like an older relative or, you know, parents would probably agree. It is so hard to get them up to speed with how we see the situation, because they think they know better and they don't actually have all of the information. They doubt the information that we give them. I think this is like one of the most challenging things about politics as we grow older, because our parents think of the situation in one way and they believe the established institutions, so like media, traditional media, political parties, the government, and even when they don't feel like they can believe the government, they also don't believe anything else. Whereas we take the movement more grassroots and we rely on social media and actual like mutual friends, discords, all of that stuff that they don't understand. So when we try to tell them what's what we know based on what has been said to us by sources we trust, they also don't believe it, because if the traditional media and the established institutions are not to be believed, why should we believe this new media that we don't understand? And I find that like the most exhausting thing about situations like this, because you don't want them to believe like hoax and fake news that has been circulating around like WhatsApp groups and stuff, but also it is so hard to drill the information into their brain because they like to believe a certain thing. They like to get that truth from like established institutions. They're officially recognized by the government and all that. when we look to like NGOs and activist groups for reliable information, they don't believe us. So that's where I'm at. Hi guys, this is a Friday and it's actually Agu's birthday, so I am currently getting ready to go to his place to have lunch, I think, with his family. It's pretty late right now, so I'm not entirely sure if this is lunch, tea time, dinner, whatever. Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. I want to give you a little update on the state of the country right now. It has kind of died down. The chaos has kind of died down. We have delivered our demands to the House of Representatives, and it has gone pretty smoothly. Today is supposed to be the deadline for their delivery of the laws that we want them to fix, but nothing so far as I know. I'm not sure what's gonna happen now, but for today, or at least this weekend, I think it's supposed to be safe to travel and go about our regular business. So that's that. Yeah, other than that, I've been keeping up with my Patreon rewards. As you probably saw in an earlier clip, I scanned my sketchbook. If you want to see what was in the sketchbook, feel free to visit my Patreon. I will link that down below, obviously. This week has been kind of a challenge for me because at work we're racing to finish pitch and obviously other deadlines as well. But also, like, personally, I have been feeling less than balanced, if I may say so myself, and specifically in lieu of everything that's been happening, not only like in the country but also in the world right now. It gets a bit too much, but I know it's for a greater good, and I hope we will actually make some positive changes. Other than that, I guess I'm just been trying to get by. Really happy and proud that I get to finish my Patreon rewards on time this time. I really want to get organized about this sort of thing. It is something that I volunteer to do myself. I want to keep my own words and deliver as much as I can to you guys. So I think I'm just going to finish getting ready, and we'll talk sometime later. Bye.
guys. We're currently on a picnic at the city park. I don't know if you can hear the birds, but they're all around. They're all around us. I made some sandwiches. Oh, as you have probably seen in a previous clip, I brought some. Oh my god, this is my unfinished sandwich and some custard pudding from a local bakery, and coffee. Agong is currently holding the camera that you're at, so like he's holding you guys. I have a clip of that, maybe I'll insert it here. He's the cameraman today, guys. Yeah, things have calmed down a little bit after everything that's happened around the city, but I'll wait until I get home to show you guys the stuff that I've been making in lieu of everything that's happening. I don't want to make this too long because he's holding the camera and I feel sorry for him. Okay, I'll see you guys some other time. Bye. It is a week after the picnic that you saw earlier. I'm sorry it's taken me so long, but a lot has been going on like nationally since then. A lot of shakeups happened in the government, reshuffling of cabinets, the firing or elimination of members of the House of Representatives. So far it has all seemed like attempts to calm the nation instead of actual concrete action to solve the problems that we have seen arise in the past year. So I feel like if the government doesn't take actual measures to solve the problems, I can see there be a riot like we had around 2 weeks ago happen again. It's not entirely impossible. Nothing particularly satisfactory has necessarily happened, but let's not get into the whole political detail of it all here. If you're interested, I can probably leave some more links down below for the updates that has happened since the last time we spoke. For me personally, the work from home mandate only lasted for a day, as you saw, and then we had work from office as usual for the rest of that week and for the week after that as well. So for now, it seems like the country has gone back to normal. But again, as I said, if concrete actions are not taken, it is very possible that we will start taking it to the streets again. What we want to avoid right now is some military emergency situation. We don't want the military to have more power in our daily lives, so to speak. Anyway, I promised you that I would show you the artwork that I've made thus far. You have seen the first one, and let me just show you the second one that you saw the progress of. It's a carousel of illustrations. I kind of just want to remind people that resistance doesn't necessarily have to happen on the streets. We can take resistance at home, anywhere we are, in any kind of form that supports the people, and also let us voice our thoughts and opinions and not let the government dictate how we think and feel. So you can check that out in my Instagram if you want, but you've seen it here already anyway. I just want to end this vlog right here, and as usual, Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, or leave a comment down below, or maybe share with a friend who you think will be interested in this kind of videos. I would really love to know what you think of this entire vlog. Also, if you want to support me more, you can always go to my Patreon and become a member. You can even be a free member, and as I've mentioned earlier, there's a free wallpaper for anyone who just stops by right now. But if you become a paid member, you can get all sorts of snazzy rewards that I'm trying so hard to be on time for, especially this month. You can get early access to videos like this, and this is my favorite reward, downloadable wallpapers, which has an annual theme. You might have seen it in my earlier vlog, how I plan for that whole theme to roll out. And this is what this month's wallpaper looks like. I quite like it. I'm really slipping into the early autumn vibe because we're in September, and I really love autumn, so this is perfect. Other than that, you can look at like some sketchbook snippets, as I've mentioned earlier as well, and some WIPs basically. I will hopefully be sharing about my shop update on my Patreon sometime this month. That's something you can look forward to for the rest of the month. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Bye!